Bingo. Hello and welcome to EVE Online. My name is High Speed Lemo. I'm a player within the Forest Corporation, a member corp of the initiative. Today's video is actually a very wholesome title. It is all about making friends in EVE Online. EVE has changed drastically over the years, and I think this kind of video will encompass factors from all parts of time, but also more relevant to now, especially now in 2025, and how you can go about becoming a little more sociable in an online game. And I think that's the real driver of any MMORPG, especially one as community driven as EVE Online. So without further ado, I'm gonna hit a quick intro and we will get started. And welcome back, guys. Very happy to be here. So we're gonna take a little trip down my memory lane of some of my fondest moments of EVE Online and how it drove me to be where I am today. And just for a little clarification, I'm currently in 4S, which is a corporation within Initiative. We are currently at war, so you'll be seeing a lot more content about that, and you'll be seeing some links down below as well to some really fun battles and maybe some pop-ups here somewhere on the bottom of the screen. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I have no idea. But quick little memory trip down memory lane. When I first started Eve, I was a very solitary player. I started playing Eve Online in high school with a bunch of friends, so I had people to play with. Um, and it's obviously changed quite a bit. However, now, in a modern environment, things are so heavily related to comms and having communication devices, being able to be on Mumble, TeamSpeak, Discord, Ventrilo. That's a joke. Ventrilo is like hasn't been used in years, but these are all things you've got to have to be able to communicate with people, especially as you're joining new corporations and just finding groups to hang out with. For me, my kind of social exile ended because I was in the middle of Solitude, a region not known for being very populous, at least at the time that I was inhabiting it. And I was part of this small, super small collective. I wasn't on comms ever. I would just type in local every so often. I like was a solitary miner and every so often would like help out with like local PvP. And that all changed on this day many years ago when I got killed by this dude, Proteus Ormond. Now, what made this so special is at the time I was with this group called Visium. Basically, I was an NPC corp, which means I wasn't doing anything. I aggressed him on a gate because he was like messing with people, popping like jet cans from the miners. I went after him to try and like prove a point. Now, obviously, he's no longer in the game, but he brought me into a wonderful corp called Fuida. And for those who know, what the abbreviation is, if you know, you know. Um, and that catapulted me, right? It's kind of basically, we call it the sandbox effect, right? My fight resulted in him reaching out in a DM saying, "Hey, what are you doing out here? Like, why are you by yourself? Why don't you fly with us?" And my first advice to meeting new people is, and this is gonna really kind of sound kind of funny, but I think it's even in the documentary of Eve, is blowing them up. So go out and PvP. You don't have to be good at it. It's okay if you lose. But if you go out and have fun, chat in local saying, "Hey, good fight, love to do that again," and other stuff like that, you're going to be making friends in no time. I mean, people love having other people to fight next to and fight with, and that's always a good time. But so that's like recommendation number two, right? Right, comms, going out and having fun and playing the game and PvPing. The next one is joining corporations, right? And if you're a new player, joining corporations can be really daunting and really, really difficult. So for that, I'm going to introduce a couple different things you can do to try and find new groups to join. And I think I talked about this before, and I'm really glad this is a new thing added into the game. But freelance jobs, I am very happy with how this has been implemented by CCP, how it's contributed to the EVE Online economy, but also has allowed for solo players to really stand out to other corps that might be doing the same activities that they're passionate about, from mining to like all sorts of things here, ratting and more ADMs, faction warfare, all this can contribute to you being noticed and you reaching out to those corporations individually. Say, hey, if you see a member online going to their chat groups, I know like I'm not gonna click on my chats because I'm part of some secret chats. Shh. We're gonna be dropping on some people this week, but it is super important just to be able to just by playing the game, you're gonna get exposed to more players and find those other opportunities to make friends, right? Now, that was number three, and I just want to do a nice short video here, but I'm going to do a bonus one, right? And I think this one's a little more different, especially since even when you join a corporation, even when you join an alliance, such as Goon Swarm, which is massive, Pandemic Horde, it can be really daunting because you're one player out of hundreds, if not thousands, and it's hard to find your voice in comms. Well, there's other places where you can find your voice, and that is in-person meetups. Now, I've never been to an Eve meet until I joined 4S. Um, Shortly after joining 4S, within the few years I've been here, the following has happened. I went to DC to meet up with Goonswarm. I went to Vegas for a Goon meetup there and just honestly some general fun. And then I went to Eve, I went to Eve FanFest, which is a dream I had for over 17, 18 years now. So joining these groups and participating in the game, but also enjoy the real life aspect too if you can, if you're able to. If not, once again, having comms, being able to communicate with folks in local and on comms is a huge contributor to be able to join groups and also make those friendships and form those bonds. Number two, PvPing and participating in local chat, fighting people, and sometimes you get invited and just playing the game is what exposes you to other players and it can get you into more groups. Don't just sit in local and high sec, but if you are meeting at high sec, chat up local, try and find other like-minded folks that'll respond back to you, and just be outgoing on outgoing and local and just typing away, and PvP, right? And three, once again, just I can't speak highly enough about this. Stop using the freelance jobs to like kind of just showcase your skill set to other corporations, and then shooting them messages, right? If you've been doing these freelance jobs for a little while, you go, "Hey, I've been doing your freelance job for a little while. Are you guys recruiting at all?" And just take the process from there. So obviously, with corporations, they're small, medium, large, all range of sizes. For new players, I recommend just starting with something smaller, medium sized. If they have ways to mentor you or support you, definitely pursue those. So a big shout out to Eve University for all this stuff they do with that. I think it's a great work with what they do, and I really should start supporting it a little more, and maybe even having alt there to help mentor folks. And that's something I'll probably do down the line. But for now, I hope you take these tips and use them to find new players to play with and enjoy this game. All right? That's all for now. I think I've overtalked my 5 minute that I was going for, but I hope to see you online. Also, if you have any problems, issues, or looking for new corps to join, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm always happy to give resources to new players, especially players who are looking to play with others. All right? And that's all for now. Cheers.